looking at these aside from Omnibot, but this is probably pretty killer. This brings me back, is what I'm trying to say.
Dude, I love the very first picture I go to. Omnibot on Wikipedia is a picture of the Omnibot holding a mixed drink in his hand.
Let me see. That was probably the picture from the catalog.
So apparently I'm not the only one that wants a robot to bring me out.
This was the one. This was the one I wanted so effing bad. I think it actually has a tape player in it. You see that thing in the middle? That's like a little cassette tape player. That's Omnibot, and then Omnibot 2000 was the one with the more robotic head-looking thing. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the old cassette player.
Yeah. Neat. Oh, man. Omnibots.
Bring it back.
Yep.
Back before people were afraid robots would kill them. Okay, this next one I'm just going to throw out there because I have no idea, really. Okay, how to simulate network devices using a application called SNMP Simulator.
Okay.
Okay, this is what I know. SNMP is a protocol that network devices use for some very, I don't want to say generic, some very simple communications back and forth. Some applications use it for just network discovery. You know, this is a Windows 95 computer. This is a Windows XP computer. Some applications use it for a little bit more in-depth data retrieval on the network. Okay. Sometimes you need to test things, but you don't have the physical hardware in your own network to do this with. Voila. Here comes SNMP Simulator. It doesn't look like it's too hard. Doesn't look like it's too deep because it's just mimics SNMP. So you can use this to, the more popular word, I guess, would be to spoof SNMP devices on your network so you can get back results that aren't real.
Huh. Very cool.
Yeah. Definitely, if you need it, you need it. If you don't, man, we got to move on to the next story.
SNMP.
Yeah, which I think is Simple Network Message Protocol. And that's a guess. That's truly a guess.
That's helpful.
Okay.
Awesome.
This one I have to throw out there because I really like Bryce. Bryce is really cool. He's the guy behind Technibble. He's been on one or two Podnutz shows. I would really like for him to come back for another one because every time he basically did good information.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Bryce brings the goods.
Absolutely. And someone in, I believe, the Podnutz forums sent me possibly a PM to this.
Okay.
And I would like to thank them if at all possible. But I do not think I'm going to have luck today.
Door is using the technique. I have to explain. Sometimes we sound crazy when we do this. Door is using the technique of speaking while he's trying to find or do something so as not to leave any silence in the podcast. And it's much appreciated and very professional. And sorry I spoiled your gimmick.
No, you didn't spoil it at all. In fact, I think you made me better.
Nice.
Okay. What it looks like is this is not the right. That's right. Okay, here you go. JD 1248.
Okay.
Thank you. He sent me to this link over at Technibble because we were talking about distribution basically called the Ultimate Deployment Appliance, which is supposed to be a Pixie server. Pixie server is an alternate way of booting. You can boot to a CD, you can boot to a thumb drive, you can boot to a floppy disk. Pixie enables you to boot to a network. Okay. And on the network, you have this server set up that basically says, okay, you just connected to me, now boot to this. And then it can do things. Among other things, it can install an operating system, basically. It can flash an operating system. Take a clone down from the network and put it on that computer.
Hmm.
And this is over at Technical Forums, Ubuntu Server Pixie Boot Guide.
PXC for Pixie, right?
Yes, thank you.
And it's posted from a user called Smashed Potatoes,
which is a good name.
It is.
It actually is nothing more than a link to two other things. One is a doc file in Google Doc, which means if you want this, you have to copy this off now and save it because you never know when it's going to disappear. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of this was installing Ubuntu server and FOG, FOG. And what FOG, I believe, stands for Free and Open Ghost. Like Norton Ghost, only not proprietary and owned by another company. This is, from everybody I know who actually used this, one of the best remote imaging software things out there.
Interesting.
Ever.
Huh. Really?
Yeah. So if you're especially I'd say if you're in a small business and you image a lot of computers, this would enable you to basically be able to plug a computer up, new computers, hit F8 or whatever to change the boot device, change it to network, hit enter, and then walk away. And come back and you have your N light or your V light or whatever, basically slam everything down on the computer, do the base configuration, install all the base applications, do all the Windows updates, and then when you come back, you're ready to rock and roll.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what FOG can do. FOG is really powerful.
Huh.
Powerful. So I really encourage people to check that out. And the other one is a link to a zip file.
Okay.
That looks like it's a version of Ubuntu server that is a minimal install. So it's super quick to install and get up and rolling.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good link.
Very cool. This is just a mention. This is a YouTube video link. Steve won't have to watch it at all. A year ago I said, I'm never going to believe this until it's done. This is a screen capture of Lightworks running on Ubuntu. Lightworks is, if I'm not mistaken, what I'm thinking of, really powerful software.
The video editor.
Yeah. This was the one that was, I believe, closed source, and they kept promising to make it open source.
Right.
And they did, and then it was coming to Windows, and then later to Mac and Linux. So here's a video of it running on Ubuntu Linux. So I feel better. I feel like it's getting further. I'm sure it's still not ready for prime time, but I'm hopeful.
I hope it's not going to go the way of the Bitwig.
Yeah, well, I'll just say I have something at least now to look at and say, well, they're doing something.
It's definitely encouraging. It looks great, too. I mean, I would love that. I wish I had that a couple years ago. I would be all over that.
I would like it just to play around with it, to figure out. I don't know how to do video editing either.
I even had a tough time fiddling around with it, and I do video editing. Because I ran it on Windows. I did get it for Windows, but... Gotcha. Yeah, Linux, I think it would be very cool.
Yeah, and I think it would be really popular really quick.
So do I. People would literally be building Linux boxes just to do video editing.
Yeah.
I think that would happen.
Okay, now this next thing is kind of easy, good, tease of simple, but in actuality, quite deep, okay, and can be a little bit hard to consume. I encourage a lot of people to bookmark this link, okay? In Linux, there's a find command, okay? The find command is pretty dynamic. It's not even close to being the most industrial, you know what I mean, the most uses application, but it's really good command line thing. Find can find anything pretty much you can imagine. It's just a question of how do you type it out?
Okay.
You know, I'm looking for an image file that was created before 1994, and I'm pretty sure it's above 50 megs in size. for, I'm looking for, it's either a doc or it could be a PDF, but I know it contains the words, Linux for the rest of us, or it might contain LFTROU. Those kind of things you can actually put out in a command, string it out, and use it, reuse it, copy it, save for later. This link is to 60 examples of how to use the find command. There's a lot of different ways to use the find command. And when you need to find what you need to find, it's much better if you could hone in on what your need is and just use one of these samples.
Wow. Look at all those things. Wow, it looks like a very powerful tool if you could figure out all the commands.
Yeah, that's why I say don't try to figure them out. Just bookmark this and scroll through, look at stuff, and then when you need to find something, come here, do a Control F, and see if you can find the one that you need. Yeah, because it's too much to try to just soak it all in.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's a good link though. It's good. Would be good practice for people getting started in it.
Definitely. This one I had to also just throw out there real quick. This is the last one. A feel good. Okay. Forrester is a pretty well-known, accomplished, reputable, established company that does a lot of research. A lot of companies go to Forrester to find out what they think the market's going to go, or what is going to be beneficial in the future. Should we worry, kind of like, should we put all of our money in coconut seeds, or should we put it in frozen concentrated orange juice? That kind of thing. But they really do a lot of things about technology and, where things are going to go. They're now saying people should hire software developers who take part in open source projects. What this basically comes down to is, hypothetically, let's just say I worked at a place where most of the technicians who were on help desk or actual troubleshooting kind of things, when they got off of work, didn't like working on computers at all. I would then think logically they would not be as good of a technician. I want the auto mechanic who goes home and likes to and is never ending tweaking his car.
Right. Exactly. Sure.
I believe when he comes into work, he's going to be a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more passionate about what he's doing. That's what Forrester is basically saying. Open people who are involved in open source projects have a little bit more extra drive. They're better at communicating, even though it might not be verbally, it might be by email. They understand about working in a group, and they're basically constantly honing their skills. Yeah. Good.
Totally.
Everything I just said there is good.
They have the passion.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you know any coding, don't hesitate to get involved in something that is open source. It will look good on your resume. And if you're going for a company that pays any attention to a company like Forrester, then it's good to be on there.
Right. Yeah, especially if, I can imagine an employer reading this and then you pop in there with this on your resume. It'd be killer. Yeah.
As long as, it's related to something that the end person can even grasp, like, we're Raspberry Pi, maybe. But yeah, super quick. I literally walked around work some of the day-to-day and basically saying to people, hey, look, do you see this? It ain't big. And then I went through and I said, this is a micro USB, like your cell phone. That's for power. Here's this, and here's this, and here's this, and here's this. And it has Bluetooth on it. And I said, this is a computer. How much do you think it's worth? Almost everybody said $200. Everybody.
Really?
And I was like, I said, nope, $25. And some of the people were like, they're stupid. How do they expect to be successful? It's stupid.